Hello, chat. Hello, ladies. Hello, gentlemen. Hello, they. Hello, them. I had a very interesting 35 minutes for the last 35 minutes, minus 3, because that 3 minutes is the amount of time that it took for me to get out of my car, into my house, take my shoes off, and come up here and hit the start recording button. And I thought that I would tell you about it because it stressed me the fuck out for no reason. And by no reason, I mean 2 reasons. Here's a little bit of context to help abet the context of this regale, right? I have a full-time job. That's step 1. That full-time job is 45 minutes away from my house. I know I said 35 minutes, but that's because on the way to my house, I take residential roads only, and on the way back, I use the highway and then a main road to get to my house, because those are the 2 fastest ways to get to my work and then to my house at the beginning and end of the day. Because the highway is past my work, so it would make no sense to drive past my work to get onto a highway, to then have to go past it again, off the exit, and then around like this. That's 4 turns. That makes no sense. So I go this way, and then this way, and then this way, and then it's on my right. And it's still 4 turns, but it's not any wasted space. It's no wasted movement. So now, after all that you know I use the highway to get from my work to my house that I don't own, but I live in it. Here is where the story begins. My work ends today, 39 minutes ago as I am recording this. I get to the parking garage. I get in my car. I start the car. I put the car in drive. I exit the parking garage. I get to the highway. And everything goes well for a little while. Unusually well, because it's a Monday, so you would assume that there's a lot of cars on the road, but there isn't. On the on-ramp, there's a little light meter that goes red on one side, green on the other, and alternates so each car gets to go when there's a lot of traffic. Normally, when my work ends, this is always on. It was not on. So I just kind of got onto the highway. And it's going well. I'm going 60 in the right lane and 80 in the left. And this is great. And it stays that way, aside from one heavy break that I had to do that only brought me from 80 to 50, and then I got back to 80. And then I moved 2 over because I know that the 2 over that I want to do after the 2 over is coming up in 2 stops. And then after those 2 stops, I do the 2 over and go another 2 stops, and then I get off of the highway onto the main road to get to my house. Here is the issue. I was going too fast. And so I get to the off-ramp, is what I think it's called, because I'm getting off the highway and it's a ramp, right? I don't know. There's 3 options. I am turning right in this instance. Left option is gone because it's the left lane. It takes you only left. The right lane takes you only right. And the middle lane, you can go anywhere, I guess. You can go left or right or forward. Me, I always take the middle lane and go right because the middle lane lets you turn right into the far left lane of the main road, which is the fast lane. And I like to go fast. It gets me home faster from my job. And there's a bit of a conundrum because I've had this job for 10 months. I've had my car for 10 months and 1 week. So I haven't had every experience under the sun working this job and driving, mainly driving, but also the job thing. 10 months is not a lot of time at a job, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about the off-ramp situation, which is that I'm approaching the off-ramp. I'm still going 80. I merged all the way and got to the on-ramp going 80. And there's some cars, not a lot, and the light is green. Those cars start to go. All the cars have gone by the time I'm getting there, but the light turns yellow. I realize, oh shit, I either have to brake very hard or convince myself yellow is enough. And I do the thing you should never do while driving, which is not commit to one of the options. So I'm braking a little bit and then not braking a little bit. And by the time I get to the point where I have to make a decision, I'm going 40 and I'm 30 feet from the light. Still yellow, by the way. No idea how that's happening. I thought it'd be red by now. So I am in a position where I have to go. Because if I go, first of all, the person behind me doesn't hit me. I still get to turn right. And if it turns red, then shucks, it turned red. Thankfully, it didn't turn red. But what did happen is that I took the turn at 25 miles an hour at the start of the turn. And it stayed that way the whole time somehow. And that's not what you're supposed to do. Because what that does, and what happened to me, is that I turn and I hear tires screech. Tires screeching? In my 2019 Nissan Kicks? That's not supposed to happen. It's a hatchback. I think that's what a hatchback is, but that's not supposed to happen. In general, probably, unless you're drifting for fun. But why would you drift for fun in a hatchback getting off the highway onto a main road to your house from your job? And so for a couple minutes after that, the ride was a little bit silent. Because I nearly pissed myself. My back is still covered in sweat. Little bit of TMI, but it adds flavor to my preamble. And ramble. And there's no post-ramble. That's called uploading this video. And so I'm off of the ramp. Off of the off-ramp onto the main road. Off of the highway, off of the off-ramp onto the main road. Which does not have an on-ramp unless the off-ramp is the on-ramp for the main road. That's semantics. But then, I'm driving on this main road. Traffic is fine. I notice something. On my drive to work, there was a critter. A little spider crawling on my dash. And I don't like that one bit. So I took a towel that I stole from my local car wash. And I smacked that motherfucker. But I lose the body. And I don't know where it went. And I don't know if he's dead. So on the ride in, there was like 25 minutes where I was fully convinced the spider was just going to bite me. Did not get bit, thankfully. This convinced me the spider was dead. Back to where I am on the main road, 10 minutes onto being on the main road, I notice between my infotainment system and a vent next to my steering wheel, a little thin thread. A spider web in my 2019 Nissan Kicks? That's not supposed to be there. And I remember the spider of the morning whose body I lost. He lived. I didn't finish the job. He's in my car. This sucks. And I go, well, he's somewhere, but I will let him do what he does if he doesn't bother me. 10 more minutes go by. I'm at the intersection next to my neighborhood. I have to make another right. I'm approaching it 25 again, but I learned my lesson. And not only did I learn my lesson, but I see on my right, in my car, from the ceiling, hanging like the Associated Man, a spider. The spider. And I know if I take this right too fast, then his thread is going to swing, and it's going to be at me, and it's going to be like that scene from Adventure Time where Finn and Jake are in Marceline's house trying to be all quiet, and the spider lands on Jake's face, and he starts freaking out. That would be me, but I wouldn't have to be quiet. My lungs would be out of my body with how much air I would be expelling from a spider on my face, in my car. Right next to my neighborhood, which has my house in it. And now I'm in my house, which means things went well. Because what happened is the spider is stupid. And the spider, in preparation for the turn, don't know how it did that, swung itself back onto the dash. I make the turn. Neither of us are harmed. Yet. Because I will not repeat the mistakes of yore. I will not let this creature, this cretin, this arachnid survive again. So I take the same towel from before, my weapon that failed me, and I put my trust in it once again into my right hand because my left hand is on the steering wheel. And I smack that motherfucker. And I check. And lest you believe that there's a little balled up cretin that has been felled upon my towel. And I just sort of like put it down so it doesn't go anywhere. And then the rest of my drive home is like 3 minutes and I'm at my house and it's great. And then I'm trying to park. And I park on the side of the road because the garage is taken. And normally in my neighborhood, there's like a just unwritten rule that all the cars park the same way and leave enough space for another car to get in. Because there's not a lot of space for cars. And frankly, sometimes I have to park way far away because the spots next to my house are just all gone. And that's a shucks. That's an aw shucks. It sucks. But whatever, that's just what happens. I get there. There's 1 car's worth of space left. And it's not much. And what do I see? A car. A regular car. A Civic style car. Whatever that type of car is called. The frame shape. Small and stupid for all I care. It's parked the wrong way. And there's 3 cars worth of space. And it's taking up 2 of it. Like an asshole. So I have to get a little bit crafty with the remaining space. But I don't parallel park. I don't feel like it. I parallel park the forward way, which is lean all the way into the space as much as you can, and then tilt the wheel all the way to the right, and hope it works out. And it did work out, so I parked. But to whoever drives that car in the undisclosed location that I had to deal with today, you suck. And I hate you. And I'll never not hate you unless you give me $30,000. But that's a tale for another time. And that's all I had to say. I just needed y'all to know my 35-minute drive that I talked about for 13 minutes so far was bonds! Ain't no Nissan Kick should be screeching its tires. Ain't no Nissan Kick should have a spider in it. But now it doesn't. And I swear on literally nothing that my tires will never screech again. I'm going to end the video now.